Hello, my name is Dr. Drew Sutton, and I want to show you something that few people get the chance to see. This is a pair of 2,500-year-old teeth from one of our ancestors. It looks like this after being buried deep in the mud for centuries and accidentally excavated by heavy machinery. Not even a small cavity or crack, even though toothpaste, brushes, or dentists were inexistent back then. Now, these are the teeth of a 45-year-old patient who brushes every day, never misses a dentist appointment, and eats sweets only on occasion. So how come teeth can thrive for thousands of years outside of the mouth, covered in dirt and worms, while in the mouth they get ruined by plain chocolate? I can tell you now it's not genetics, nor how healthy you are. It has nothing to do with what you eat either. Instead, it has everything to do with something you are using every single day, thinking it keeps you healthy and safe, when in fact, it's getting inside your gum pockets, eating at your teeth, putting you at risk of throbbing pain, inflammation, and infections, while also making you prone to allergies, clogged sinuses, headaches, or gut issues. But once you'll find out what it is, you will finally be able to quickly start rebuilding your gums and teeth, stop the bleeding and the itching once and for all, while forgetting all about bad breath, cavities, and yellow teeth. Not only that, but you'll also be able to breathe better, clear your throat and sinuses, and enjoy a perfectly smooth digestion.
I have always taken such good care of my teeth, brushing, flossing, even giving up sweets. And I just couldn't understand why my gums always felt like they were swollen and itchy, or why cavities would just pop up overnight. Now it feels like I've got a new set of teeth and gums. Thank you so much, Dr. Drew. For the first time in decades, I am not in pain. Pretty cool.
What Dr. Drew was telling me to do seemed absolutely crazy. But what can I say? I was desperate, so I thought, I'll give this a try, maybe for a couple weeks. And I can't believe how well it worked. The results were great. No more toothaches, no more infections, and no more that metallic blood taste in my mouth. And thank God, no more bad breath.
I had been suffering from throbbing gum infections for 5 years, and 2 of my teeth were moving. It was so bad I was afraid to eat. My doctor told me either I save money for implants or I have to get dentures. Imagine that, at my age? I still can't believe Dr. Drew's method saved me from all that torture. Now I tell everyone I have shark teeth.
Hi, my name is Dr. Drew Sutton, and before we go any further, let's address the elephant in the room. If you're like most of my clients, then you've probably heard all of the promises before and even tried a lot of the so-called solutions out there. Stuff like deep dental cleaning and scaling, antibiotics, fillings and root canals, or even gum grafts. Maybe you've put your hopes into supplements, vitamins, powders, sprays, or herbal teas. Or maybe you're even thinking about surgery to strengthen your gums or implants. Procedures that cost a painful amount of money can put you at risk of infections and have no guarantee they will work whatsoever. For example, up to 10% of dental implants fail in the first 3 years, while the incidence of biologic complications over a 10-year period can be as high as 69%. If you're like most people I work with, then you already know these so-called solutions are a never-ending subscription to the dentist chair that leave you in pain, scared, and disappointed. Which is why I want to be extremely clear that what I'm talking about here is unlike anything you've ever seen or heard of before. It's not based on alternative treatments or positive thinking. It's based on real, solid science. It's a solution that will remineralize and feed your gums with oxygen, backed by tens of clinical trials and supported by multiple international scientific studies from places like Harvard University, Sao Paulo State University, or the University of Otago, New Zealand, or by reputed publications like the Journal of the American Dental Association and Scientific Advances. Which is why it's very important that, before you spend your money on any more professional products or solutions, you pay close attention to what I am about to say. Because as a doctor for more than 30 years, I've seen firsthand how debilitating and painful gum disease can be. How it can drag you into a pit of despair and embarrassment and isolate you from your dear ones. So I'm happy you've chosen to look at this video, because this will transform your teeth, your smile, and your life. No matter how long you've been dealing with dental problems, no matter how serious those problems are, your age or medical condition, I truly believe there is a simple solution to gum disease and tooth decay, and it's so powerful that I am convinced it will change your life forever, just like it has for so many other Americans. Just imagine. No more inflamed, bleeding gums or blood taste in your mouth. No more throbbing pain and bad breath. No more risking serious infections or stuffing yourself with expensive painkillers, hoping the pulsating tooth agony will let you breathe for just 1 second. Never having to cover your mouth or feel embarrassed. Never having to see your friends or colleagues take a step back when you talk to them. and never having to see your spouse or kids turn their heads away when you want to kiss or hug them. Instead, you can become one of those people with a rock-solid confidence because your smile will finally look like a Hollywood smile, white, clean, and gleaming with health, and never ever set foot in a dental office again. Once you see the groundbreaking science behind this inexpensive solution for yourself, I'm sure that you'll be excited to give it a try. Because in the next 5 minutes, I'll reveal why our ancestors, despite never brushing their teeth or going to the dentist, had better teeth than ours. The #1 hidden gum and teeth destroyer most people and dentists actually consider to be the best thing ever invented for teeth. The at-home morning test to rapidly check if this culprit is behind your oral health problems, as well as to find out if it's also responsible for your clogged sinuses, headaches, brain fog, or even extra pounds, as recent medical tests have found this destroyer present in 98% of overweight people. Moreover, I will let you know the scientifically proven melting candy remedy that could erase years of damage done to your oral cavity. As I said, my name is Dr. Drew Sutton, and I hope you won't mind if I take a second to explain who I am and why the discovery I am about to share makes such a big difference in the lives of thousands of people. I am a board-certified otolaryngologist for over 30 years, with extensive experience in head and neck surgery. I graduated from the University of Rochester and completed my internship in general surgery. I earned a few awards, including the Charles D. Kochakian Award in Endocrinology and Nutrition, and the title of Chief Resident. By all means, when people looked at me, they saw a successful doctor with a bright future ahead of me, a doctor that would make a difference. And this was surely what I was dreaming of, to really make a difference. Only this dream came tumbling down when I realized that what I'd been taught in medical school only treated symptoms without ever getting to the root cause of a disorder. People were just bodies, their pains were just indicators, and they were forgotten the minute they went out their doctor's door. All they were getting were pills and expensive surgeries. Their lives and overall health were overlooked. No one ever wondered where their disorders really came from. I mean, if medicine is advancing as they say, why are there more sick people than ever? My frustration grew by the day, especially when I saw some of my colleagues blindly prescribing the same chemical medications for different people with different needs, not thinking twice about it. So I decided I couldn't continue like that anymore. That's when my practice took a more holistic and natural approach. I worked obsessively to understand how plants, herbs, and organic ingredients work as solutions for my patients' actual problems. Since then, I've been able to help thousands of people around the world, and I can tell you, at the end of the day, I really felt proud about what I was doing. But everything changed when I met Samuel Benman, one of the most difficult cases I came across in my entire career. He was 54 years old, a husband, a father, and a grandfather of 3. His entire life he had been the life of every party, always cracking jokes and shaking with laughter. No one could ever be sad around him. After his retirement, his dream was to host these weekly big barbecue parties, play with his grandchildren, and even become a stand-up comedian. He just loved having people around. All of that came crashing when his health went unexplainably down the hill. The reason he came to see me was that he had this tormenting allergy for years. His sinuses were always clogged, he couldn't breathe, he couldn't sleep, he barely found the strength to talk. I was the 9th specialist he was visiting, and I could see that there was not much hope left in his eyes. But upon a closer look, his problems ran much deeper. He had the worst form of gum disease I had ever seen in my life. His breath was so bad, I had to keep the windows of my cabinet open long before he was gone. So bad that during dinner, he always stayed on a corner of the table because he didn't want his family to be repulsed by it. His wife had been kissing only his forehead for the past 2 years because of his infected gums. Needless to say, so much for his dream of being surrounded by people. In time, he forgot how to smile or laugh. He was depressed and often had panic attacks. And how could he not? One of his teeth was loose, and he feared he would lose it every time he chewed. That's why he ate mostly purees and soft baby food. His worst nightmare was that he would choke on it while sleeping, as he also suffered from teeth grinding. If that happened, could his wife even help him in time? Would an ambulance get to him fast enough? His gums were so damaged that there was a low chance they could support implants or dentures. He always felt the metallic taste of blood in his mouth. Even though he had tried the most expensive dental treatments, nothing seemed to work. Plus, he felt like his brain wasn't what it used to be anymore. He found it hard to remember simple things and suffered from insomnia, headaches, and brain fog. He thought these were caused by the severe nighttime teeth grinding that he could not curb, but I doubted it. Every time he asked for a stronger pill from the doctors to manage his teeth pains and headaches, they looked at him like he was a junkie. His life was a living hell, and the thought that he had to go on like this every single day was unbearable. Alone, always in agony. The worst part, most doctors didn't even take his pain seriously. They saw him as a vain, over-complaining patient that didn't have any real problems. I mean, after all, it was just gum disease. It was not like he was dying of a heart attack. But I could see his pain, and it broke my heart. Seeing him like this, I made a promise to myself that I would do absolutely everything in my power to help him. I knew it wasn't going to be easy. This man was a walking puzzle. I mean, people like Sam had already tried just about everything. What else could I do? To be completely honest, I had no clue. All I knew was that I was determined to not be the 9th doctor that left him desperate and disappointed. The fact that none of Sam's parents or grandparents ever suffered from gum disease was extremely intriguing because it meant it wasn't genetic. But what was really dumbfounding was the fact that all his blood and allergy tests came clean. How could that be? Every waking moment I kept thinking about this oddity until I noticed something. The allergic reactions, headaches, and insomnia had appeared after his gums started bleeding. This made me wonder, were the dental problems actually the trigger of all his health issues? I spent night after night bent over every study or article that I could find, over every news and every footnote. I didn't seem to come across anything good, but my intuition kept nudging me forward. Something had to come up and explain all of these seemingly unrelated symptoms he was experiencing. Even so, after not finding anything helpful for 4 whole weeks, I was almost on the verge of giving up. But how could I look Sam or people like him in the eyes and tell them there was no hope for them? I had to keep going. And thank God I did, because soon enough the solution came from the least expected place. During one of our consultations, Sam wanted to show me something. It was a picture from a newspaper. "Look, Doc, they've dug up a pair of 2,500-year-old teeth, and they look way better than mine. Those bastards didn't even know what a toothbrush is." After having a chuckle about it, it suddenly hit me. How come teeth can thrive for hundreds of years outside of the mouth in mud and dirt, while in the mouth they get ruined by plain chocolate? A tooth is said to be tougher than a diamond and cannot be destroyed in fire, but it gets stained by coffee? I had a hunch I was on to something, so I went back to the drawing board. What I knew was this. 1. Our ancestors, despite not brushing their teeth with toothpaste or going to the dentist, had better teeth than ours. 2. If you take a tooth out of the mouth, it will last for centuries, but in the mouth, it can get ruined in a couple of years. 3. Most probably at one point, modern people took a wrong turn when it came to dental care, something that is making our teeth more frail than ever. What was that wrong turn? That's when I came across a little-known study that flipped everything dentists claim about gum disease, one that also shed light on what exactly is eating at your gums and teeth as we speak. Listen, you've probably been told that bad bacteria is to blame for all dental diseases, and that you need to take antibiotics, go through annoying scaling, and disinfect as much as you can to keep your mouth clean. But about 2 years ago, upon a closer look, scientists have realized that bad bacteria is not the real root cause of gum disease. Actually, gum disease and other dental disorders happen not when there are too many bad bacteria, but when there are too few good bacteria. You probably know about the gut flora or gut microbiome. It refers to all the bacteria, good and bad, and other organisms that live inside the intestines. Imagine this like a constant war between the police and thugs. The thugs, the bad bacteria, are always looking to make a mess of everything, while the good cops try to keep order and control. But they can't do that if they are outnumbered. So the more good bacteria strains you have, the better your digestion. It's the same with the mouth flora or mouth microbiome. The moment this idea got out, it started a serious fight between scientists and dentists from all over the world. This big fight is known as the germ theory versus the terrain theory. The germ theory says that the bad germs are what we need to worry about and we need to keep finding ways to kill them off. This, of course, involves repeated visits to the doctor, pills, and a pile of dental care products. I think there's no need for me to mention this idea was supported by dentists. On the other hand, the terrain theory argues that if the mouth environment is well and balanced, then germs that are a natural part of life and the environment will be dealt with by the body without causing sickness. And this terrain, or environment, is created by the good bacteria. In fact, the Journal of the American Dental Association, JADA, declared that, in the case of periodontal disease, there is not one specific bad bacteria that causes it. Instead, it's all about how strong the community of good bacteria is when germs or viruses attack. So even if you were to exterminate all these bad germs, if there is no good bacteria to rebuild, nourish your gums and teeth and keep them safe, it's all in vain. If you had these good bacteria in your mouth to begin with, any microbe or germs wouldn't have stood a chance in the first place. Plus, let me tell you this, whoever promises you they will completely get you rid of bad bacteria or germs is lying. Maybe this can be done temporarily, but we are human beings. We eat foods from the market, we socialize, we travel. We cannot live in a completely sterile bubble for all our lives. Eventually, these germs will come back again. That is why evolution equipped us with good bacteria. And that's why a healthy mouth should have very diverse and numerous good bacteria strains. You should find them on the tongue, the hard palate, the teeth, the area around the tooth surfaces, above the gums, and below the gums. Something that almost no doctor will tell you is that the oral bacteria affects not only your teeth and gums, but also your entire health. Actually, every time you swallow, you are seeding your gastrointestinal tract with bacteria, fungi, and viruses from your mouth, 140 billion per day to be exact. That's right, every sip or bite affects how healthy you are, what diseases you have, and how those diseases will progress. So can you imagine how much of your gut bacteria actually comes from your mouth? Truth is, your whole body mirrors what is happening in your mouth, and your mouth mirrors what is happening in your body. A gum issue is rarely, if ever, just a gum issue, and it's only normal if you think about it. The mouth is literally the front door of your body. Even the air you breathe passes through the back of your mouth before reaching your lungs. Imagine if your front door is open and dirty. All of the dirt will end up eventually in your living room, and it will soon have all sorts of things growing in it. So many diseases are linked to poor mouth flora, from IBS to cardiovascular disorders and anxiety and depression. Moreover, a 2009 study suggests obesity begins with the oral flora. Over 98% of the women with obesity studied shared similar microbiomes. And it doesn't stop here. While you swallow plenty of bacteria that end up in your gut, part of them crawl down your throat, causing respiratory infections, and up your sinuses, causing allergies, sinusitis, headaches, and migraines. Your bloodstream is also a convenient form of transport. Each time you chew, brush, or floss, bad germs get pushed into small vessels in your gums. As oral bacteria breaks into the bloodstream, it can travel to organs throughout the body, including the brain. According to a new study published in the journal Science Advances, bacteria normally present in the mouth can also release toxins that make their way into the brain. Once there, they may contribute to memory disorders. I know it sounds scary, but there's one way to prevent all of that, by diversifying and increasing the population of good bacteria in your mouth. Literally, get more good cops in to keep everything in good working order. In fact, Alex Mira, a bacterial geneticist at the Fezabio Research Institute in Valencia, Spain, says that as humans evolved, they, like many other mammals, outsourced a good part of the body's processes to the good bacteria. For example, transporting crucial minerals from saliva to the teeth to aid in remineralization, carrying molecular oxygen to feed the gums and soft tissue, and eliminating free radicals and other waste products from the foods we ingest. In addition to these important functions, the good oral bacteria play a vital role in protecting us from harmful environmental organisms, chemicals, and toxins. They even regulate blood pressure. Our body doesn't have the enzymes to do any of the things mentioned above. We entirely rely on our mouth flora, and without them, our health would be out of control. So I cannot state enough how crucial good bacteria strains are. Healing the mouth flora helps heal the body, and vice versa. Now, the only question I needed to answer in order to uncover the real root cause of gum disease was, what destroys the good oral bacteria and doesn't allow the strains to grow back? After digging even deeper, I found the shocking answer. It's the very things that promise to save you from it: dental products and procedures. Our teeth are constantly under the attack of the dental care chemicals. For example, let's take the most popular dental care product, the toothpaste. Did you know a lot of toothpaste brands are detergent-based? That's right. These toothpastes are trying to remove grime off your teeth by the same aggressive procedures that bleach removes stains off your white t-shirt. Sure, the stain is removed, but also the fabric is weakened. Tens of studies have proved that a lot of big oral care brands contain hidden chemicals, but they have been ignored, or worse, buried by corporate lawyers willing to protect the profits. Do yourself a favor today. Check all the products you use and immediately throw away the ones that contain one or more of the following ingredients: sodium lauryl sulfate, SLS, sodium fluoride, tricalcium, artificial sweeteners such as sodium saccharin, aspartame, xylitol, and erythritol, artificial color dyes, often made from coal tar,